So when we moved to Colorado, we knew that we had a deployment coming. We were told before we moved here that he had a tasking to go to Afghanistan, but I thought it was going to be a 6-month deployment. So we moved into our house. We had boxes still sitting everywhere, and he came home one day, and I knew by the look on his face that something was not what I thought. And he sat down and he said, "Heather, you need to sit down." And I was like, oh boy, what's happening? And so he said, "It's not a 6-month deployment." And I said, "Oh, it's a 3-month deployment?" And he said, "It's a 12-month deployment." And I just felt like all the wind was sucked out of me because I had never done 12 months solid. His average was about 285 days a year, but it was broken up throughout the times before. I had never done that long of a stint. And I had 3 small children at the time. And so I just had to sit there for a minute and regroup and think, how am I going to get through this? A whole year. He's going to literally miss a whole year. And we really didn't have that much time before he had to leave. And so we barely got the house unpacked before he was gone for the training prior to the deployment and then the deployment itself. And I just remember in that time thinking, Lord, how are we supposed to do this? Why are you calling us to this lifestyle? Why are you calling us to such hardship? And David was always really good about encouraging me to love the things that he loved, and he could inspire me to get behind, to rally, to it's a camaraderie in this Tech P community that we're in. These guys are awesome, and they're and he even said, if anything ever happens to me, these guys will take care of you. They're going to watch out for you, and you're not going to be alone. Even while I'm gone, there's still guys at the squadron that will take care of you, and this is a family, and we're going to get through this. And so he was very inspirational. But I remember facing that first big deployment, and it ended up being what was supposed to be 9 months. He was killed 6 months into it, but those 6 months were not nearly as hard as I thought they were going to be, as crazy as that sounds, because we were very intentional about spending time together and about, as best as we could, what we talked about. And it was true that, you have this community within the military that's very unique, and it made life a lot easier knowing that I had the support of people that understood. And we grew so much during that time. And I'm very grateful for it, as odd as that sounds, knowing that he was killed. But I'm very grateful for that time that we had, because we did grow a lot as a couple during those 6 months of deployment. After a while, it's like, so how are the kids? And you've got an oil change scheduled for Tuesday, okay. And that's like the extent of it. So you really, you sometimes need a little bit of help to have that intentional communication, to go to that next level as a couple.